Greetings to the Ascending Masters. This is the Divine Alchemist checking in. Listen, grab a pen and grab a pad because I am dropping some jewels today. Make sure that you're prepared to take in this information, and I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. What I want to talk about is time, the concept of time, and what it actually means to our lives. Have you ever actually sat down and thought about it, about what time is? I mean, we know that there are a bunch of different events that happen, and we use these events to determine where we are in the time pattern. But what is time really? The definition of time from Webster is the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future, regarded as a whole. I'm going to say that again. The dictionary definition of time is the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future, regarded as a whole. Now, being honest, that is a lot to unpack. So let's start with the indefinite part. So the definition from the same dictionary of indefinite is lasting for an unknown or unstated amount of time. Now, understand these are definitions from the same dictionary. I didn't make them up. So if you're paying attention, then you realize we already have a bit of a problem here. The main word indefinite, which is the word that the dictionary uses to define time, has the word time in the definition. Does that seem strange to you? It definitely doesn't sit right with me. I mean, if I was in school and I had to write a paper or I had to define a word, if I defined a word with the same word, or if I use two words and I define them with each other, I would fail that test. Just being honest. Now, it's also broken down into three parts: the past, the present, and the future. But they also call it a whole. So again, that's also a little bit confusing to me as well. So after a few minutes of contemplating this topic of time here, I think it's fair to say that there's something that we must not be aware of. I mean, our whole life is actually governed by this concept of time. You know, time dictates what you do with your day. It dictates how much time you spend with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and how much time you spend at work, on vacation, eating, sleeping. Everything is dictated by time. But the book that we use to tell us what words mean, it doesn't even give us a clear definition of what time is. So when I realized this, it really made me think. Also, have you ever noticed that whenever we do something in our life, it's called spending time? So you want to hang out with your friends, you spend time with your friends. You go on to work, you spend time at work. You're on vacation, you're spending time on vacation, relaxing. Or if we're not being productive, it's called wasting time. So maybe you're on Instagram, you're scrolling, all of a sudden an hour went past. Mindlessly, you were just looking at memes. Or let's just say you're supposed to be at work, supposed to be being productive. You got something on your mind, you're not getting your tasks accomplished. All of a sudden you wasted your time. Or just like when we're at work, you're able to earn time off. So let's look at these words that are used to actually talk about time. We got spend time, we have wasting time, and we have earning time. These words sound like something that I've heard before. These are actually the same words that we used to describe, you guessed it, money. So now I have to ask myself, is there a relationship between time and money? I would definitely say so, especially considering the fact that we are giving currency in exchange for our time. So we're getting currency for our current events. So that's also interesting as well. So this must mean that time is worth more than money. But in the current format of our existence, people do anything for money. People will rob, people will steal, people will go to jail, like whatever they can do to get the bag, you know. They won't even be their true self. They'll portray themselves as someone else. They'll become a different person, all to get some money. But time is worth more than money. And if you acquire money by breaking a law, guess what it costs you? You guessed it, your time. So ultimately, we're wasting our time to get all of the money that we can get when the time is worth more than the money. It's an interesting concept. So now it takes me back to my original question. What is time really? What is the actual difference between the past, the present, and the future. And also, at this point, you have to ask yourself, is the concept of time even real? Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my perspective on this. But before I do, if you're enjoying this content, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can get this channel growing. All right, so what is time really? From my perspective, the only logical definition I can give you of time would be the space between where you are and where you're going. I mean, think about it. Why else would you be compensated for using it? If your mind is occupied with mundane tasks, then you will never have the ability to expand to your truest potential. So we don't really want to waste our time doing things that are not aligned with our divine path. The only thing that actually exists is this present moment. The future and the past are both figments of our own imagination. So I'm going to say that again. The only thing that actually exists is what's happening right now. Even what I just said is now in the past. And the only thing that's really existing is the current moment. So the future and the past, those are two sides of the same coin. It's your imagination, it's your emotions, it's your thoughts all combined in creating a mental picture of things that have already happened, things that have not happened, or things that you think happened. It's all just the same thing, but none of it is actually real in this current moment. The present time is only a moment that is constantly changing. And this moment offers us two choices. A, we have the choice to relive the past over and over and over again in a cyclic nature. And this is what a lot of people do. We have events happen to us in our past and we're unable to let them go. These events create emotional responses in our brain, and our brain gets used to receiving this same information or the same chemical over and over and over, and that becomes our reality. We keep having that same experience, and you might have that experience with different people in different places, but that same experience is still there. That same energy is still showing up for you every time. Now, option B is to create new thought patterns, and then we can develop a new future. But what do you think most people are doing? Most people are choosing option A, or they're not choosing and defaulting to option A. Now, before I get into option B, which is building your own new future, it does require a brief introduction to one of the very first laws of the universe. This is the law of mentalism. Now, the law of mentalism simply states that the all is mind and the universe is mental. So this reality is essentially whatever you've been exposed to. So whatever you've seen, whatever you've experienced, whatever you've heard, whatever you've been around in abundance, that's going to create your reality. The people you spent your time with, the schools you went to, the jobs you worked, the friends you made, the relationships that you've been in. All of these things, they combine and they create what is known as your personal reality. Now, we do have to understand that this is different for everyone. We all don't have the same friends. We don't have the same family, relationships, jobs, experiences. We all have this in a different way. So we all have different realities, and we all see this universe in a different way. So this is how you have to understand that the universe is completely mental for us. Now, if you're kept busy spending your time for money, then you'll never be able to create a new future. And this is how most people end up just being stuck in their past. And like I said earlier, the only thing that's going to change is the characters, but the energy is going to remain the same. So you're going to keep experiencing the same events with different people and slight alterations, but most people just end up living the same year every year for their whole life. Now, why is this? Well, your body does get used to the same things with slight variations every week over and over. And now, since your body is used to it and your brain is producing the chemicals that your body expects, it's going to be very difficult to create change in that environment. So how do we create change? It's going to be a little bit tough. I can tell you it's hard, but it's not impossible. And I can also tell you that there's really only one way to do it. The only way to create change is to go within. It's as above, so below, and it is within. Everything that's within is without. So the only way that we're going to actually be able to create this change is to just look inside of ourselves and learn how to meditate. Once you start meditating, and this is why most people stop, it's going to be difficult at first. We get to a point where our body is running our mind instead of our mind running our body. And when you get to that point, your body is expecting certain chemical responses from your brain. So let's just say normally at 9 a.m., you're making coffee, you're logging in for work, you're checking emails, you just got off Instagram scrolling. All of these events are creating a certain chemical reaction in your brain. If you decide, I'm going to start meditating at 9 a.m., those first 2 meditations might be hard. Your body wants what it's used to. Your body wants to feel, experience, smell, taste, touch. So if you're not giving the body what it's used to receiving, then of course you're going to have some trouble here. And of course, your body is going to want to continue doing what it's been doing for years on years on years. So if you do start meditating, just give it some time. Give your body time to get adjusted, because it can be stubborn. It may take a different amount of time for everyone, but once you're able to break through, it's going to be a life-changing moment. Because again, if you're not breaking through, all you're doing is living the same moment over and over and over. You're living in the past, not the future. So if you want to create a new future, you have to get super clear on your vision, and you have to learn how to control your emotions. If you can combine your elevated emotion with pure intention and focus on it for a specific period of time intentionally, on purpose, this is where the new future is going to come from. This is where the new person is going to come from, because you are becoming a new person. Remember, the only thing that exists is the current moment. So everything that you're doing over and over again is just the past reliving itself. It's the emotions that you've created from the experiences that you've already had. So if you want new experiences, you're going to have to learn how to connect your emotions with new thought patterns. This in turn will create new experiences, and this will help you become a new person. And this will help you actually have a better usage of your time. So yeah, I just wanted to drop that quick knowledge for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family, and for the people that you feel like actually can benefit from this information. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this. I mean, what do you think about time? Do you agree with my concept that time is a measuring stick to help you determine the space between where you are and where you want to go? Or what do you think? Drop your information in the comments. Let me know. I'm out of here. Peace.